and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right. Did I receive anything for the public forum? I'd like to note that we do have a full quorum present. And moving on to the workshop agenda, item number 3. Discussion on Texas Municipal Retirement Services Plan review.
Mayor, Council, I brought this to the agenda during the workshop so you guys can have an education on the changes that are happening with House Bill 3161 and also the fact that TMRS is now allowing for an increase from 7% to 8%. And there's some other additional changes that are coming, and I've requested for TMRS to come and give you an education on it. And I wanted to let you know that I did do a survey with the city employees to ask them if they were interested in moving from 7 to 8%. At the moment, with having 38 employees, I sent out 38 survey response requests. I got 38 back with a total of 35 employees saying yes and 3 saying no for a 92% request to increase from 7 to 8%. Shannon, if you don't mind.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Shannon Lucero. I hope you guys are all doing well. And I'm an education manager with TMRS. I'm going to be asking to come here and kind of discuss what this 8% means and some other changes that are occurring at TMRS. For those of you who don't know, TMRS is the pension plan that Montgomery provides to their employees. They joined back in 1996, so 29 years ago. Montgomery joined TMRS with 6 employees, only 6.
Carol was one of them.
So you're familiar with TMRS. Today there are 37 contributing employees to TMRS. So 29 years you've seen that kind of growth in employees. One of the strengths of TMRS is the plan design. It is not a one plan fits all. City councils choose the plan to provide to their employees among a menu of options that we have. And one of those options are the employee contribution rate. Currently, there are 3 rates, 5%, 6%, and 7%. This is the percentage of pay that employees pay out of their own paycheck into their pension plan. So their pension is not funded 100% by the city. Employees pay into their pension plan out of their own paycheck. So currently, it's at 7%. As Ruby mentioned, House Bill 3161 now allows for an 8% employee contribution rate. So if the city chooses to adopt this 8%, employees would now contribute 8% of their compensation into TMRS each month. I believe you have a packet in front of you that has actually plan design. It's a comparison of optional plan design. With there being several different options, cities can adopt several different options, and this is just a sample of some of the different options and how you can go in and kind of customize your plan according to your needs. But when you look on page 1, option 1 shows if Montgomery did adopt that 8% employee contribution rate, how it does affect the rate that Montgomery pays into TMRS. Their current 2026 rate, total rate, will be 10.42% of payroll. And if we do go to 8%, that would increase it to that 12.48% of payroll. That is pretty straightforward. Hey, if the employees want to do an extra 8% and council wants to adopt it, that's a pretty straightforward kind of explanation of it's just another layer. It's just another option that House Bill 3161 provides for employees to be effective in September. A council cannot adopt this earlier than September of this year. It's always going to be an option on the table moving forward. It's just not effective until September. One of the other changes at TMRS that actually occurred in 2023 was a passage of a new non-retro COLA. So the city of Montgomery provides cost of living adjustments to their retirees. There are currently 19 retirees that are receiving a lifetime pension from TMRS. And there's already a COLA in place. But in 2023, a law was passed that allowed for a non-retro COLA, which is just how we calculate the benefit. Instead of going back, we're just going to calculate the benefit based on the retiree's current annuity. This law sunsets December 31st, which means it goes away. And it's no longer allowed to be adopted after December 31st of 2025. It does, if you can see there, I did run a plan design. Option 2 shows if you did go 8% and then did adopt this new non-retro COLA, how it actually affects the benefit. And you can see it actually drops the rate to 12.16 with the 8%. It's still providing the retirees with a cost of living adjustment. It's just how we calculate the benefit is a little bit different. So it's not a lower benefit, it's just a different benefit. The nuance with this non-retro COLA is if council decides to adopt the non-retro COLA, and after 2025 decides to make any other plan improvements, maybe decide to go to that 8% then, or increase the COLA percentage to 70%, because that's another layer that can jump up, the non-retro COLA goes away, and it's not an option on the table. And that's the nuance with that time frame. If you're interested at all in the non-retro COLA, it has to be adopted this year. But if you also want the 8%, in order to lock in that non-retro, less expensive COLA, it would have to all be adopted this year. Because if you try to do anything next year or the year after, now we're going to have to revert back to the retroactive COLA. So that's one of the biggest nuances that have to be understood if you were looking at making any kind of plan design changes. Can I open the floor to questions?
Yeah, just explanation of the ratio. So I've got a normal cost rate and a city matching ratio, which 2 to 1 is not 11.
2 to 1, I'm sorry.
It says our city matching ratio is 2 to 1.
Yes.
But then it says my cost rate's 11%. Well, 8 times 8 or 8 times 2 is not 11.
That is true. So the rate that the city pays into TMRS is an actually determined rate based on demographics of your own city. So the rate every year, Montgomery's plan goes through an actuarial study every year. And every year, based on your history at TMRS, determines the rate that you have to pay to fully fund the benefit. If you look down at, you guys are at currently 94.6% funded. You have 94% of the assets in TMRS to pay all liabilities. It's a high funded ratio. Okay. One example of an actuarial gain for a city is if you had an employee who's been here for, let's say, 12 years. They've been working, and the city's been matching their funds, because as you said, it's a 2-to-1 matching ratio. And they choose to leave their employment, whether they walked out or they were terminated. If they choose to cash out their money from TMRS, all that money that Montgomery had been setting aside stays in TMRS. It goes to offset the funds. So that affects your future rates in the positive. So paying extra money on your mortgage, your payment would increase.
You have to have 100% participation in a certain percentage?
Yes. So if council adopts 8%, that means every employee does 8%. So an employee has, whatever the plan is, that applies to every employee.
Just the full-time employees.
Full-time, the ones who are in TMRS, correct.
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking about the
Correct.
So the 3 that voted no on your survey would have to participate if it went that way.
That is correct.
And TMRS is a pre-tax plan, so it is 8% pre-tax. But it would eventually increase their retirement benefit. Because the more money they're putting in, the more that they would receive going forward. And I did run several scenarios because, again, the strength of TMRS is local control. You have control over the cost of living adjustments, the employee contribution rate, you have control over the city matching ratio, the supplemental death benefit. These are all a menu of options that make up the TMRS plan, and each and every city, all 934 cities in TMRS get to choose their option. And so I did, under all the different options, just kind of threw out different plan designs. Option on the second page, page 2, option number 4, I maxed out the plan. This is the maxed out plan, but as you can see, I'm sorry, on the last page, where it has 8%, and then there's lots of red, your rate goes up to 17.54% of payroll. That's the maxed out plan. So I gave you the absolute highest end in Montgomery. But this is just to show you how the flexibility of the plan is.
And this has to be adopted before December 31st of 2025?
For the non-retro COLA, yes.
Okay.
So the city currently has the retroactive COLA provision already in place, which means that's how we calculate the benefit. It's 50% of inflation as based on CPI. Retirees in January who receive an increase in their check based on 50% of COLA, of inflation. If you did the non-retro, it's just a different calculation. We're going to look at their current annuity, and they would receive 50% of inflation based on the current annuity, which is very much how everyone already thinks the COLA calculation is already done. It's just not how it's actually done. The retroactive looks at their entire career as a retiree and looks at the change in inflation over their entire career as a retiree. Whereas the non-retro just looks at their current annuity. Much like employees now, when they get a 3% pay increase, it's based on 3% of their current pay. That's what the non-retro COLA does. It's 2 or 3%. If COLA is, or inflation, CPI is 3%, and you're at 50%, that means a 1.5% increase based on their current annuity. That's an easy explanation. It's an easy way to tell retirees this is what your increase is going to be. That's the non-retro. Currently, Montgomery has the retro, the 50% on the retro. So we look back at the entire time of their retirement career. And it is on a repeating basis. So council's already adopted that on a repeating basis. So that just happens every January.
So option 2, though, it says the non-retroactive is a no.
On option, right, that is assuming you adopted the non-retro, because right there is
Right.
how this is formatted is I said, no, we're not going to do the retroactive, which means it's a non-retro. But the clock is just ticking on the non-retro option.
Okay. Well, it looks like option 2
So,
is what we should.
what do you, department heads, what do you want for your employees? What are you looking at here?
So this is the single biggest factor on employee retention, in my opinion. Our retirement plan is, that's the main thing that people are looking at. And there are all the other perks that are wonderful and everybody loves them, but the retirement's what most people are looking for. I know myself, where I'm looking, or I was looking to come here, I'm looking to say, I'm already with TMRS, but I'm not going to another city unless they are at least matching what I'm already at, which it was 7% and a 2-to-1 match. I didn't want to go to work for someone that was doing 5% with a 1-to-1 match. So in my opinion, this is huge. And I don't know about the retroactive, the COLA and all that, but the 8% and the 2-to-1 are the two main things that people are looking at when they're job searching. And if they're a qualified candidate, then that's what they're looking for, is that long-term.
Option
Long-term.
1.
So I'm going to ask another question on the 8% because it was not clear to me. So when I asked about the 2-to-1 and our cost is 11 or 10 or whatever it is, that doesn't add to me. So again, 2-to-1, the city's matching 16% to their 8 out of every check, correct?
Right.
And then,
Well, it's an
Not technically
accuracy.
though. I'm sorry, not technically though. Like the city's not actually paying 16%.
No, they're currently paying I'm sorry, the 10.23% is what they're paying because, for lack of a better word, there's already an account of money that's already there in TMRS. The assets are already there to pay that 2-to-1 match. And it is a true 2-to-1 match. So if you go to retire and your account balance is $100,000, Montgomery's going to throw, you have the funds, the assets at TMRS to put $200,000 in the account. We add up all those money and annuitize it.
All right,
The rate
so,
that the city is paying,
okay. So
again,
this is-
actuarially determined based on,
this is a true pension then?
it is a true pension,
Okay,
yes.
okay, that makes more sense to me.
It's a cash balance plan that we convert to a pension so that an employee will receive a benefit for their lifetime.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Not very many places do true pensions anymore, so.
They do not. They do not. It is a gold line. But if you, like the gentleman stated, if you are a government employee, you look at that. You're a public servant. You look at that.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay with option 2. You like option 2?
No good in there?
Because that will affect you.
Thank you so very much, we appreciate it.
Since we had the budget workshop this evening, I did want to bring this forward so we can possibly look at some considerations for if we wanted to build this into the budget for next year. And I hope that information was educational for you and insightful on the voice of the employees as well.
So it'll increase what we're going, it's on our payroll basically from where we are at 9.54 to 10.84 if we used option 2. So we're looking at a 1.4, 1.3, somewhere in there, increase of total payroll, right? Of what you've already got budgeted.
You actually need to look at the total contribution rate.
Total contribution rate?
12.16.
Oh, the 12.16, okay.
So, yeah.
So we would go up,
So currently for next year,
3.5%.
that would be at 10.42%. If you were looking at option 2, that amount's going to go to 12.26.
Sorry.
so it would go up, it's still only 1.6% increase over what's totally budgeted now, right? Okay. So 1.6%.
1.74.
1.74, good enough.
Yeah.
1.74% increase of, that's if we do option 2. Increase in total payroll budget.
Okay.
All right. So, is this an action?
No, it's just to discuss.
But because it's budget item,
Yeah, we need to get it
we
in the
need to
budget.
kind of say whether we're
So,
thinking about
what
doing
is
it
your
or
thought?
not.
You're okay with option 2?
I'm okay.
Sarah, what do
I'm
you think
okay.
about option 2?
Option 2 is logical.
I'm okay with option 2.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Option 2, Stan?
You want option 2,
Yes.
where there's no COLA?
No, it's a retro.
It's a retro
It's
COLA.
It's a
That's
non-retro
a non-retro, yeah,
COLA.
so it's whatever they
It's more
have
straight, easy
today.
math.
Yeah. Instead of going back and doing the accumulation,
They can figure out exactly what their COLA is, it's half of whatever,
pretty
right?
straightforward.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Option 2, we like option 2.
okay.
We'll have Marianne build that into the budget so we can see what we're looking at.
Item number 4 on the agenda, discussion on an amendment to the City of Montgomery Policies and Procedure Manual, Section 5, Attendance, Leaves, and Absence, reference number 5.04, subject holidays as attached in Exhibit A.
Mayor and Council, this was brought forward on June 24th, and this was requested to come to this budget workshop, so further discussion can be had on this, and then bring it back on the July 22nd meeting for a decision.
Yep. So I remember this very well. It was trying to use the weekly payroll as a count
No,
for your.
not that
No,
one.
this is
No, it's different.
paid holidays.
Oh, this is the increase of the
This is
paid
paid
holidays.
holidays, this is allowing 2 extra holidays,
This is from 11 to 13,
New Year's.
12 to 14.
12 to 14. Good Lord.
What?
That's a lot of holidays. folks.
Yeah, well, I did some research. City of Houston allows 11 paid holidays.
Yep, that's
City
standard.
of Conroe allows 8, and the national standard is 10 paid holidays.
Yeah.
And
So
we're
11
already-
is
and we're already at
standard.
12.
We're already at 12. So, yeah, I'm not interested, personally. Now, if they want to rearrange the days,
I'm all for closing City Hall at half-day on New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
because nobody's going to come, I mean,
yeah.
I'm not going to say nobody, because that's 100%, but I find it very rare that anybody wants to come up and do business. If they do, they're going to do it in the morning on that day. So I'm okay with giving that as a half-day, or recommending that.
No problem.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
I have
Half day.
no problem with that.
Oh,
Yeah, half day on New Year's Eve. So we'll increase it to 12 and a half days. Is that what you want to do, sir? 12 and a
Yeah, I
half
think
days?
that's, I think that's very,
If they're good, I'm good. 12 and a half days.
yeah.
12 now.
Yeah,
There's 12, the half-day and New Year's Day. I mean,
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, I'm sorry.
So,
Texas Workforce Commission is 12 days.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I was just looking at different things.
Same that Tom
Sure,
did,
yeah.
look 'em up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I looked at National Labor Relations Board's average is 10.
Yeah,
10.
And then Houston is 11, Conroe is 8.
yeah. So, I don't know, have you guys ever heard of a floating holiday?
Yeah.
Okay, where
can
you can
pick
do
one.
11 and then give them a floating holiday and they can pick any day they want, call it their holiday.
so are you saying keep the ones we have, and you can use a floating holiday as New Year's Eve or Juneteenth, or
Yeah.
whatever, any of these really?
Yeah,
Is that a HR nightmare to figure out? Okay,
just give them a floating holiday.
I'm fine with that too. Or,
Or you just want to do the half day, I don't care. I'm just wondering if you guys
I
have
don't
heard of a
mind giving
floating
them
holiday.
Yeah.
half a day.
I think half a day.
I really think floating holidays people forget also,
Yeah.
and then they don't take it, or, yeah.
I take mine.
But,
Personally, I think a half day is.
Half day?
it's good, okay, half day for New Year's Eve.
All right, Ruby, so we want to increase, right?
No, we're just gonna keep it the way it is, just add a half day for New Year's Eve, that's it.
So we 12 and a half days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
12 and a half, yeah.
Okay, and then this will be brought back forward for action on July, or June, what are we in?
July,
Yeah,
Yeah.
July 22nd.
okay, cool. All right. Item number 5 on your agenda, discussion on an amendment to the City of Montgomery Policies and Procedures Manual, Section 5, attendance, leaves, and absence, reference number 55.05, subject vacation leave as attached in Exhibit A.
Mayor, Council, this was also an item that was brought forward on June 24th and requested to come here for further discussion in regards to the vacation leave. And Councilman Olson was concerned about the accrual going from monthly to per pay period. And our current pay system that we're using to pay employees pays out on 3.70 per pay period. And every 6 months, if we have a third paycheck, because we have 26 pay
This
periods,
is blank.
it takes 6 months to equal your 8 hours per month to catch up to what the policy says versus what we're actually truly accruing. It's all equals at the end of the year the same amount, but if an employee has to work 6 months to get that additional percentage difference to make that 8 hours per month, the way it's currently written in the book versus how we're paying it out. So this is just a housekeeping to fix how we're physically paying an employee versus the policy.
So, and you were working off 26 or 27 pay periods?
26.
26. And you're saying how much? 3 point what?
It's still 96 hours at the end of the year, but it's 3.7.
What happens on the years that we end up with 27 pay periods?
Is there one for leap year? Does that screw everything up? I know, but I don't know if it pushed it. I don't know if it pushed, if it changed anything. Yeah, okay.
So 96.2 hours at 3.07, at 3.07,
70.
right? Or 3.7, excuse me.
It also
That
makes
isn't what
it
the
where if
average
somebody
is.
leaves
That's
in the
not what
middle
the
of the month, it's exactly what they will receive, not additional 3.7 hours. So it really is just cleanup. I looked at it all different ways, and it really adds up to exactly the same, but it makes it legally correct if someone, leaves employment. For existing employees, it doesn't do anything different. Only that's how our system works.
And it's been that way as long as I've been here. I don't know, Carol, how
She
long it
changed her
was
numbers.
before that.
It's
It's always,
that wasn't
since I've been here, it's
there.
been 5 minutes.
Why would we do that?
Well, the policy page says that, it was last revised in 2012. So we've been doing it like this since 2012, and now all of a sudden, it's got to be cleaned up, so I don't.
So I think there's some confusion kind of across the board as to what it looks like, right? So our policy currently says that employees, I'm just going to use the 40-hour-a-week employees, or 40-hour week. The policy says that they earn 8 hours of vacation leave per month. However, by doing the accrual every pay period, at the end of a month, you've only earned 7.4 hours of vacation rather than 8. At the end of the year, it's okay, like it catches you up. I think what we're trying to do is, the two don't jive. What it says in the policy handbook is that you earn 8 hours a month. But you don't, you're earning 3.7 pay period. So we need the two to blend. It's either we change how we're doing accrual and we accrue at the beginning, end of the month, and give you the 8 hours, or we change the policy to match that it is accrued on a pay period basis, and you will accrue 3.7 or whatever our chart is.
So
3.7
I'm just trying to understand why we don't just give it out at the end of the month, like every other payroll I've ever seen.
Right. And we absolutely can. It's just historically what's not been happening. So when I got here, accrual happens every pay period. So we accrue 26 times a year. At the end of the year, you're made whole. But if our policy handbook says you earn 8 hours of vacation per month, and technically you don't. If we're doing it based on the accrual, you're getting 7.4.
Right, so instead of changing our policy, why don't we just change the way we accrue to comply? I mean, I'm really confused by this whole issue.
It's more accurate if you leave it halfway through the month, you're gonna go ahead and pay them the rest of the time?
No, you give them for however time
They won't have.
you
they
do the
won't
math
They
have
won't have
accrued
the,
their leave yet.
right,
No.
right.
You have
But
to
in
accrue
accrual,
the
it's
month.
right, exactly.
Right, well, if 8 hours divided by however many days that they work in that month, and that's how much time they get, that's how everybody does it.
Our system does it automatically.
I don't understand why this is an issue.
Yeah, I gotta ask, what is the problem that we're trying to fix? I don't understand the problem. What is the
If an
problem?
employee works 5 months for the city of Montgomery and they leave on month 5, they can come back and say, you shortchanged me my accrual. I was owed 8 hours a month. We're not giving them 8 hours a month. We're giving them 3.7 per pay period.
Ruby, you're
They can-
right.
they can
We
come
totally
back for
get that part, but it's not our policy's fault, right? We didn't, the policy
some
says give them
point,
8 hours, so
correct.
why are we not giving them 8 hours?
You're correct.
Why are we
at some
asking to
point
change an
change.
accrual when all we have to do is just give them 8 hours at the end of the month?
And if you want to change that policy, the system can be reflected that, but we're going to have to shore up everybody, every employee at this point to give them the difference up to this point when we would change the policy.
The policy's not gonna change. It's still 8 hours a month, Ruby. There's no policy change. It's the way that you're adding. Just give it to them at the end of the month. I just don't understand the issue here. Right? It doesn't make any sense. The policy says end of the month.
Yeah.
Why are we trying to reinvent the wheel here? Can't we just give it to them at the end of the month?
That's where I think the confusion comes in, as to what is it that, so what I'm hearing Brent say this evening is by leaving it at the 3.7 gets you to the true amount that you've accrued for that period, right? It's not prorated. So therefore, what we would bring forward tonight is a change, or next meeting, is a change to the policy.
To prorate.
So instead of it saying that you accrue 8 hours per month, we would modify the vacation accrual to be in line with what the sick accrual is. Because sick accrual in our policy handbook does outline that it is a bi-weekly accrual at 3.7.
Oh, pay period, okay.
Well, that
So I
changes
think,
things.
I think what we're talking about is like
Just
two
mirroring up.
different ways, right? So if we're trying to match what our policy says, then we need to change the way we're doing the accrual.
And you have to remember, 2 months every year, you have 3 pay periods, which.
Which it doesn't matter though, we're not worried about the pay period. The policy is written by the month, not the
We
pay
pay by the
period.
pay period and the accruals.
But we don't have to, and that's what I'm
You
saying.
don't have to, but it's a lot easier to change this to match the sick pay than it is to change that in the income system.
Because we've
You've had
been
income
I see
for
that.
a really long
for so
time,
long,
so it's been that way.
the change, the policy to have it follow the 3.7 or the bi-weekly accrual keeps everybody just moving forward.
And that makes sense. I
And
didn't know that
shifting
was all the
anywhere
same.
because it's been handled that way in practice for so long.
So we haven't been following our own policy. Is that
No,
what you're saying?
Since 2012.
Since 2012.
Probably since you adopted Inco, because most cities with Inco do it this way by accrual because it's such an accurate way to do it. So
I don't know how it was done in the previous system, but I do know that coming into Encode back in 2022, that it was set up for bi-weekly accrual.
It's been this way since 2014 at least. Since my first day, that's the way I think it's been accrued. That's why I was asking Carol, I don't know if you remember how long before that it was like.
2012,
You're
wasn't it?
saying maybe with the policy change, 2012?
I thought it was 8 hours is what you got, and that's what you got. And when you left, that's what you got. So now, I don't know what you get.
So if you.
I don't know what you got when you leave now.
If you left
I don't know.
If you left mid-month, why wouldn't you get 4 hours?
It doesn't.
you would. I mean, that's
That's what I'm saying.
standard. That's why I'm just like,
I
the
don't
problem here
understand.
is
So, and again,
Worrying
it comes back
about-
to the policy is, we're not following.
We're not going in accordance to policy.
Our
Well,
policy
we
says end of the
are,
month,
but not on
Right.
the
right? Our policy
paycheck.
says end of the month,
Right.
so the problem isn't whether or not council's made the wrong decision, it's whether, the way that they're doing it.
They're
right?
doing it.
So
We have a policy
Yeah.
here.
this is not oh, hey, we need
But
to make a big
Encode,
decision.
yeah.
They need
if
to
you
do
look-
it.
doing
if you
it
look at the
different.
sick, it's completely correct.
Yeah, the SIG is set out like this is right here, with us doing it per pay period. But our vacation is per month, so we're trying to streamline them to be consistent
Okay.
and in line with what our current practice in the payroll system is.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Streamline makes
If
sense.
it's the same,
If it mirrors,
and it
then
makes
that
it
makes
easier,
sense.
then do it that way. But as far as, it's not an issue, folks.
Anytime you hire someone on mid-month, or they leave mid-month, or not exactly mid-month, there's always gonna be a discrepancy, or possibility of a discrepancy.
Even if you hire a mid-pay period, you're still not gonna give them 3.7 for half a pay period. You're only gonna get what you accrued. And it doesn't matter whether you do it monthly or weekly or what, you get what you accrued. So this is what baffles the hell out of me on this deal.
And again, it comes back to the fact that the policy is one way, the practice has been different. How do we marry the two?
Just change the policy.
Yeah, we'll just
Change the
mirror the policy to the sick leave.
Yeah.
And you guys were still okay with changing the max accrual pay, not changing the max, taking the max off of the accrual for the current employees, but max payout upon separation would still be what you see on that last column.
So when we talk about the cap, is that carryover? Do we have, and I needed to ask some questions about that. I'm okay with either like raising a cap of what can be held, but The biggest thing I want to avoid is somebody that just says, I'm not taking vacation for 5 years, and then we don't see them for 2 because they've been on vacation.
We do have a policy that says that vacation requests do have to be approved. So if you're asking for something out of the norm, that's got to go through an approval.
Okay.
But we do have employees who are, say, for like 192, an employee less than 5 years is capped at 192 hours, and their accrual is paused because they cannot earn anymore and they feel like they're losing. Now, they do understand that if we change to remove the cap, no matter what our max accrual payout is, would still be the 192 hours if they left employment with us. If they chose not to utilize their vacation available to them, if they left employment with us, that was on them. The only amount, if they had 300 hours in there.
They still only get 192.
The only amount
That's
they're
what
going
it
to get
counts.
is 192, and that way our liability on the book stays controlled.
Okay. So we want no cap whatsoever.
Oh, I don't know
No
about
cap for
that.
active employees, but a cap on payout at separation.
Well, here's the thing about vacation time. I want you to take your vacation time,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
I want you to take some time off, right? That's the whole point of giving it out.
Right.
So if we don't cap it, there's no incentive for them to take it. They're like, hey, you need to take some time off.
Continue from my own experience.
I've had some feedback from the police department with employees who feel like that they're losing their time. And Chief, have you had any employees come to you about any of this? No?
Oh, I was like, wait a minute, you just said that there was employees that did.
It is part of that deal. We do make sure that these guys get their vacation time. Say for instance, since I've been here, we've still had people who have never caught up
Right.
with their vacation time because they were just having other things to do, other assignments to do. And so we've been losing that time. So that's why we thought if we could keep it accrued, as long as you don't have to pay that as a payoff. If someone's is 192, that's all they get. And that's what the policy says, and they understand that. But it gives them a more chance to take those vacation time without losing it.
Yep, no, I
Without
understand.
losing that time. Because that was the problem. They're losing that time, and not just not being able to take it, but they're losing it also.
So if somebody decides to retire and their vacation time they have exceeds the cap, do they get paid for the total?
No.
No,
So they only get paid up to the cap?
They get paid only up to their cap.
Okay, so if.
But that's
you-
easy to fix. You just
Yeah.
take time off.
I
And then
understand.
say, okay, now I'm going to retire.
I'm just going to relate to my own experience. When I retired from the Navy, I had accrued leave. I actually had 5.5 months that I took vacation and then I retired.
Right.
That's because they allow the accrued leave. And it's the same type of thing here.
Yeah.
Except, so if a guy wants to retire and he's got 270 hours instead of 192, he can collect for 192, but he can still take off
Take
that
off the
time.
difference, yeah.
Yeah.
Our
absolutely.
policy book does have a restriction in there that says that you can't use your vacation time on the books upon trying to separate out. We do have a restriction in our
Oh,
policy.
okay.
And also, we have that
To take
within
it and then
within the police department. We're not going to let you take that many days off before you come back and do.
Right.
To leave.
Okay.
You got to stay within that time.
Oh, my God.
So, okay,
Yeah.
I would realize.
Might as well.
You just go into executive session and talk to the council members, and get it approved.
What?
That's all you
Get
get
what
to do.
approved?
The additional time
When
off.
you get ready to leave, to retire, you
Oh.
just
Oh, no.
go in.
Y'all just heard how easy it was. Just a conversation with the redhead.
Always away.
But my thing is if they approve it, then they've earned it. So
Yeah,
At least the liability doesn't hang over you when the audit comes.
Yeah.
Right.
Point that out every year, that you do.
true. Okay.
Okay. So
Right.
we'll bring that back
Good.
again and we should
Yep.
be okay with it?
Okay,
No
yep.
cap?
Are y'all clear on the no cap?
Absolutely.
All right, then we'll move on to number 6. Discussion and review of Evergreen Solutions compensation study.
All right, Mayor and Council, this This is essentially our final product, except for the job descriptions. We're cleaning those up for the final part of it. But if you look at page 13 on the cover sheet of the council packet, please note that there was two options when we had our last budget workshop, that there was open range and then there was grade and step. The feedback from council at that time was no interest in the grade and step, but only open range. So the information provided to you tonight is only open range information. And the table on page 13 is just a snapshot of what they have provided. And I kind of bring it all together in the cover sheet to kind of explain to you what each avenue means for bring to minimum, class parity, tenure parity, hybrid parity, and range placement. And if you look at page 15 of the book, or of your packet, it shows you what the cost is. Again, if you're bringing to a minimum, the number of employees that would be adjusted is 8, with a cost impact of $30,482, and these are based on an effective start date of 10/1. If you bring up to class parity, again, it's still going to be 8 employees with a cost impact of $63,000, and then so forth, the higher it goes.
So I need to read the definition.
I don't have that packet. I don't know where that came from.
Oh, it was in the agenda packet.
If you move to page 17, this is their findings.
Oh, okay.
And then page 18 starts the bring to minimum. And that shows you your 8 employees by title, the ones that would be affected on the increase. If you move to page 19, that is your class parity and your tenure parity. And page 20 is your hybrid years and your range placement. And then page 21 is the new pay scale open range that will go into effect on 10/1 for any hire for all employees getting transferred over to this range, and also for any new hires.
There's adjustment tenure. Hold on. Class minimum, mid, max, nope.
Where's the current?
I guess. Is the annual what they're making currently?
What are you?
On page 17? Says department class title, minimum, mid, max, and then it says annual and FTE, so I'm assuming that this is how much if the
Yes,
mid, okay, and this is what they're getting today, okay.
Okay.
That's
Based
what
on the title.
I wanted to make sure.
Annual is current, okay.
Okay.
That can't be right. $4,000? I'm sorry.
A docent. Yeah, they
Oh,
do.
the docent,
Yeah, it's a
okay.
docent, yeah.
Yeah.
What are the docents doing here?
They give out the tours over for land and keep up with everything. Do, yeah. Oops.
That's the last one I want to adjust.
Ruby, if you were using the class parity,
Superintendent.
and you say in this, right up here that
Last year's.
15 years, they would go to the midpoint. What if they're above the midpoint already?
Then they would still be within their range. And in this case,
So it's only gonna be moving people up, is all.
Say that again?
If, whatever, one of the options, it would only result in people moving up, but not down.
So,
Yeah, nobody
the
moves
way
down.
it's set up right now, that there are 8 employees that aren't meeting the minimum range.
Right.
Everyone else is within that range
Okay.
somewhere. There are a handful, but not many, that are in that range that are on the higher end, and they would not be adjusted, they would just be assigned a range, they'd be assigned the range that's on here, that's recommended, then it would fall within a minimum to maximum. They would still be within their maximum, and their min-max, but they wouldn't be exceeding it. So if an employee right now, I'm just gonna say, example, employee A is at minimum, but employee B is at midpoint, so when we move into that, open scale, page 21, so let's just say, level 101, minimum's 31,000, maximum's 46. So we have one employee who's at 31,000, they're gonna move right into that and be assigned level 101. And then if you have someone who's currently at 40,000, they're still within the minimum and maximum. So they're in that scale based off of their position and their duties. And the company realigned, is looking to, not realign, but looking to align employees in the proper pay scales based off of the city of Montgomery, the job title, and the duties that they're performing. And that's where these recommendations have come in from this company.
What happens when, let's say somebody's at 75% of their range?
They can't go past the maximum,
Okay.
they can't go past the maximum, no matter what.
With
until
annual pay
salary
raises?
survey is done.
Annual pay raises, they're maxed. Okay,
Merits, COLAs,
yeah.
the COLA will increase that scale, but merits, they can't cap off, they only cap off at the max. And typically, salary surveys are standard, industry standard is about 5 years.
Yeah, okay.
So I know we need to do some catch-up. I just don't know which one of those plans is the right one, because that would make a lot of sense.
I think for competitiveness with respect to outside jobs, that the class period would be one that you would want to use.
How's down the class or hybrid?
All right, but
Yeah, what are we looking at with total employee numbers with those?
hybrid is 10 years, or class is 8.
I want to say when Evergreen was here and they gave their presentation, I want to say they said it was either class parity or tenure parity is the normal. I think they typically whenever they give a presentation on this, their clients tend to go with that middle ground.
Yeah, I think class parity would make us competitive, or a way of looking at competition. But tenure is scaled to time and service, not necessarily.
So, yeah, the class parity just realigns us. The hybrid also takes into consideration employees' number of years in that current position title that they hold. So if an employee's been with the city 10 years, but they've only been in the current job title for 2 years, their hybrid is based off of that 2 years in that title, not 10 years total.
Right.
I
Yeah, I think hybrid is the one.
just really don't. You guys into
Yeah,
it?
the hybrid, the way they explained it, the hybrid gives you full credit for the position that you're currently in, and then half credit for your
Tenure.
position.
You're correct, half credit.
Half credit, okay.
Tenure parity gives you full credit
For time and
If you've been
service,
here
right?
10 years, but you've only been in this certain position for 5, it's going to give you the full 10 years
Yeah,
of credit.
So I like the hybrid.
I do too.
But I definitely want to do this, something to get everybody caught up.
Yeah.
We know we're even, and we're starting from scratch again.
Agreed.
Carol, what's your
It's
thought?
a good baseline.
Hybrid?
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay, so ask,
Okay.
what do they think?
So what are y'all doing down there, Stan? Sure. Hybrid, class, tenure, what are y'all thinking? I said hybrid, Casey said hybrid, Tom said hybrid.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So then,
Cheryl, what's your thoughts? I see your look, what's your thoughts? Your brain's thinking something. I want to hear your opinion.
It's okay.
No?
No.
Are we pulling the thumper rule?
I mean, if you have additional questions,
That's fine.
It puts us in line.
yeah. It really just brings everybody's baseline up to current status.
Y'all know what the thumper rule is, right? Huh? You ever watch Bambi?
I don't watch movies.
Yeah, thumper. I don't know. See,
Okay.
nothing nice, don't
So I think, there you go. I heard that. Nice job. The hybrid is, yeah, the hybrid is the,
Consensus.
yeah.
So it's gonna bring 10 employees up, right?
Yep.
Yes. And it puts us on a.
And we would adopt that,
scale
right?
down.
That, and then we would adopt that new scale?
Yes, it'll all be adopted with the 10-1 budget. It'll all just be inclusive of it, and job descriptions, everything, the titles, all of that goes with it.
Okay.
Cool.
Who did those job descriptions?
Those are changes that came back from them and departments. We are doing some screening through it. I didn't have an opportunity to get it finalized before we were bringing this forward. So I had just gotten them. But we're screening through them to make sure that there isn't any minor tweaks that we need to do. But what they originally submitted to us, I rejected completely and sent it back to them.
Right.
I noticed in going through them that I went through all of them, believe it or not. The code enforcement and planning administrator, there were a lot of changes there, but it looked like it was shuffling things around. Is that right? You're not familiar with that one off the top of your head?
We got,
The code enforcement administrator, the job
Planning
description, there's a lot of changes in it proposed, but in going through it, it looked to me like a lot of the stuff was just being shuffled around.
we had a code enforcement, we had a job description when we hired the code enforcement
Right.
person. And actually, we're looking at that again. Myself and Brett talked this morning, the code enforcement technician. But what you see in there, what was the thing that got you off balance?
It's not off balance, I'm just saying that.
Things seem shuffled and just
proposal-
moved
The
around.
proposal for the job descriptions, that one jumped out at me, and I went through it and everything, because there was a lot of changes, but as I read through the changes, it looked like they were just a lot of shuffling things around, not taking things out, but adding a few things.
Yeah, for the responsibilities.
Right.
For responsibilities, you couldn't, we couldn't take any of the responsibilities out because, legally, and that's what a code enforcement does.
Okay,
So, yeah, they were shuffled.
okay, I just didn't see, other than the fact there's a whole lot of blue ink.
Yeah.
Most of the changes that were rejected, though, were just, they were boring.
Yeah.
They were just, they didn't have it.
Do we have?
One job description to the next, they just had everything, nothing matched. It wasn't uniform. across
Does our Microsoft package come with Copilot?
Yes.
Does it? Y'all can use Copilot?
I don't have a user.
Yeah, but it's on there. It's on here.
Copilot?
Yeah, it's right here.
If you've never used Copilot, use Copilot and tell it to build your job description.
I'm gonna Google that.
It's
I don't know
awesome.
what it is.
Oh, it's like AI. It's like
It's AI.
ChatGPT.
So,
So
but-
it'll pull everybody, it'll
But the
aggregate.
Microsoft Suite has Copilot built in, so it's not as, we call it hallucinating. So like ChatGPT and some of those, they hallucinate. They make stuff up and they come back with random things. But like Copilot's a lot better. It just works off of, it works from your Microsoft Suite. But you can just type in the job title and say, build me a job description.
I'd say from like a.
And it will build you a job description with responsibilities and everything. Then all you have to do is go back and edit, right? So if you're not sure, just put in Copilot.
I would put in like the city under 5,000 people, what
Yeah.
would, like kind of
And
give
then,
it
and
some.
then just put the title in, and it'll build you a job description. And if you ask it to, it'll put in a salary range. So,
I did do today on chat, GPT.
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So can I ask a question on this highway? So say I've got an officer at 62, where are we gonna take that to? Are we gonna take it to the range placement salary?
Third one down.
We're gonna use the hybrid one,
Hybrid.
yeah?
Yeah, that's what we pay. The hybrid does have him at.
Hybrid ranges.
Have him or her at 62,006. So where's
So
that?
hybrid, okay, so then there's a cost, a percentage of adjustment, current range placement salary, and cost, so it's taking them up.
So would that end up at the range placement salary? Or not?
Oh.
So if it's like 65, okay, I'm just gonna go to the bottom, 'cause that's what I see. 65, 3, 6, well, the second from the bottom, we're just gonna use that as an example. So it says that they're currently at 65, 359.97. They'll get a $1,193.48 increase. So that will take them, oh wait, no, hold on, that's a lie. And then
Are
the,
we at the minimum now?
Yeah, we need to, what's
Yeah,
the
that's
title?
why-
of the
78.
column? There's a
That's why
column
I'm gonna
title.
start at the 62
no,
of
there's
it.
not, it's
Oh,
just
no,
hybrid
that's fine.
years, it's just the years.
So what is
And where is it taking it to? So it's, again, I see where, what the cost is, hybrid partially salary and range placement salary. So are we gonna go with hybrid partially or the range placement?
And that's what I'm asking.
Okay, the two, I see what you're
So
saying.
class parity,
Yeah.
hybrid includes class parity.
Right, but there's two different kind of hybrid ways, the hybrid years and then the current range placement salary.
Okay.
So are we gonna do the hybrid parity or the range placement within that hybrid year?
And where we
No,
say-
range placement is the $280,000 one. You're
Yeah, that's a
looking at
different one
Oh,
altogether.
got it, okay, they were put on the same page, I was
Yeah.
thinking that was
Yes,
all
they're-
across.
That's why they're in different colors.
We just need the
Yeah,
purple
but still,
columns.
okay, just the purple column, there you go. So in that case, that 65, 359, they'll add $1,193 a year to their salary. The total is not on here.
You say a year?
Yes,
So,
For
so
the
it'll-
total year, yeah.
yeah,
what?
It'll just, you'd make the adjustment of 1.9%, say that's your new salary, and then we build from
it'd be
there.
like $67,000, 67 instead of 65, 359.
So is that for just 1 year, and what about the following year?
And then they'll follow everything that moves forward,
Well,
but
then our
it's
COLA and
baselining
merit,
everybody.
Then when we do our COLAs and our merits, it just
top of that.
builds on top of that.
It brings
So
their flooring up.
if we're doing our COLAs, doing decent COLAs, and we should keep up with inflation, so we should stay pretty close, and then if they merit, right, then they'll get more.
Okay.
But those COLAs and merits are based on, the COLAs we decide, right, and then the merits are based on
We're
y'all.
not gonna try to stop them, we're not gonna try to stop it at once they get this, and then say you're cut off.
No, it's bringing everybody up to par. And now you start with, then everybody's at their new baseline, and then you do all the top of it.
I knew that was the concept, but when we start talking, it's kind of.
I know.
Right, so this is something that Mike and I have talked about several times.
Specific officers in, it'll show you exactly, because some of them are time and grade, some of them are new, some, you've got whatever.
As long as it just doesn't stop there.
No,
No, it won't.
No.
It's just bringing them up to
We're
today's
just trying to get
market.
them to match up to where they need to be
Yeah.
now. So when we do COLAs and merits, they're building correctly and not
Yeah.
behind.
Okay.
Right.
That's kind of where we wanted to go.
Right.
And
No.
based off of this, on the hybrid parity, 10 employees will be brought up to
Right.
par.
Right,
Okay.
right. So this is like, I've talked, well, we did this, Chief, we did it manually, basically, 3 years ago, when we did the 6% for the police, right? We just manually brought you guys up to par.
Right.
This is looking at the whole organization and saying, okay, who else needs to be brought up to par,
Yeah,
right?
taking these things into the hybrid stance.
Right, so the job descriptions will be brought back to us?
Do you need them brought back? Otherwise, we're just gonna clean them up and make them not look like a draft and not have strikeouts.
And do what?
I'll
Then
leave it blank.
show them to us?
Yeah.
If you need us to do that, we can.
Yes,
Otherwise,
I want to see them because I've got some questions on a couple of them as
Are
to
there any that
why
you
we
wanna address
made
now so we can
changes.
answer anything?
on page, oh, no, 2 of 3 isn't going to work. On court administrator, education and experience, it's scratched out 3, and we have 5 years
I'm getting there.
of experience in municipal court operations. Why would, what what's the big deal on
Page
3
39.
versus 5?
That was the recommendation of the survey company. And those are the things that we are now reviewing to look to see what minor adjustments we want to make.
I mean, honestly, I'd leave that up to the department heads. They need to write what they need.
This is a department head, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
That
So
is-
the court admin is
Administrative?
stuck,
Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
court admin. I mean, I guess that would essentially be the city administrator that would,
Make that final
Yeah.
decision,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
What-
then to read away and add it to 5 years.
Of experience.
I'm not sure we need to be
It has to be the
micromanaging things. I think the city administrator.
Yeah,
should be more-
yeah, I agree 100%.
Which is probably a standard, 5 years experience to be supervisor.
Brent, I'm assuming you've looked over these and you're concurring?
Yeah, we've been going through them, and
That's what I
yes.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they, all of them had
We-
quite a bit of changes, but
Some of
There
those are
was
just
there was no
tweaks.
intention
I
of
mean,
having
ultimately, Brent,
us vote on it.
the department head's answer to you, so the job description for the department heads should read what you need them to read, and that goes for our department heads and their employees. They need to read what you need them to read, so that you're getting what you need, right? I don't care what it
And that's the
says, as
process
long as
that
it's getting
we've
what you need.
currently been doing. Like I said, they just came back, and I wanted to get them in front of you because you guys had asked at the last meeting where the job descriptions, and my response was, I kicked them back, I rejected them. This is the corrections after the rejections, and now we're starting to go through them, but we wanted to show you that feedback is coming through and we're finalizing it.
So you're the blue and they were the red?
Not necessarily.
Not in that order.
It could have been that they had a couple of people reviewing them because that's exactly what they told me. They had one person look at them and then they had another person come back and so if there was a different person look at them, they have a different color. Are there any other job descriptions that stand out that you want to highlight?
Yeah, but it's
Want to
not,
send me an email on it?
it's not working, so it's okay. Y'all decide, y'all do it.
Okay.
I'm good.
That was the
Yeah,
court
that's code
administrator.
enforcement, yeah. Yeah, so I thought we were potentially getting rid of or adding or doing something with the events coordinator. Is that changing? Okay, I see that the deputy secretary now takes over permits instead of the events coordinator, but is the title of event coordinator changing or?
At the moment, in this particular
Right,
survey
draft,
that
yeah.
was done, it was not recommended for change. I have asked for an economic development director title for a job description that I haven't gotten, but I don't know if there is a different avenue that, because I know that there's been some discussion,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know where it is, so I can look into it.
we're looking at iWorks for online, doing the permits
Yeah.
specifically for those, so we can get it all online.
Love it.
I'm kind of working through it right now.
Love it,
So
okay. I just didn't know if we adopt these,
When,
is it gonna serve us in the near future, with those changes coming down the pipes?
Well, just like with Tilly today, what he was talking about, we were talking, there's some changes coming.
Okay, and so if we adopt this now, though, say we adopt
can
it
make the
tomorrow,
changes.
we can make the changes, okay, all
So
right.
we'll just bring it in front of you and say, this is
Cool.
what we did. and,
Then I
you
think
know,
we're good.
approve it.
Okay.
just so you're aware on what you saw, I believe former assistant city administrator McCorkindale was handling the permits when he left employment, and then there was a change with the coordinator or the community events person. Someone needed to step up to the plate, so Diana took over that role because she had experience with it. She was cross-trained and took it over, and it's just kind of stayed in this department. So there was a lot of shuffle with the administration change.
What kind of permits are y'all talking
The
about?
event
It
permits.
could be,
The alcohol
event
permits or
alcohol
event
permits.
permits?
Yeah,
Those permits were done,
The permits that go for,
she brings them and we sign.
yes.
For
the ones that-
community ones, yeah, because you have to have
That
a
was
meeting.
her
Bless
only role in that, was bringing it to us and having them sign.
Well, no, she's actually processing them. This
She
Diana is.
processing them, or is they processing them here?
They're being processed in-house.
Ruby, that reminds me of my last Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. the permit forms all have McCorkindale's name on them. They haven't been changed.
Okay.
I think those are all about to get changed anyway because they're poorly written and they don't apply.
We're gonna try to come up with one.
I just
Yes,
got
thank you.
access to the iWork system as of Friday.
That's fine.
So I'm gonna start looking into it.
Okay. Alrighty. Are we good on the Evergreens compensation study then? We can move forward? Everyone? Okay. Number 7, discussion regarding FY 2026 annual budget by fund and department. Ms. Mary Ann?
Council. You've got your new pages. These pages, got a few things that are new, that you haven't seen before. One of you revenues, right? So, I'll touch on a few things here on general fund, so fund 100, page 1 of 2 on the revenue side. I currently left the ad valorem taxes right where they were for this previous year. We do anticipate an increase, according to the tax roll, it's about a 14% increase with additional value and additional profit on the roll. So we'll have to wait and see what comes in with our calculations. So the first 7 items we've left as what they're currently at. We get down to sales tax. We do have an increase here. Again, this is based on our forecasting tool that we get through HDL, so we utilize that. And the same is true on the sales tax and move ad valorem. We've left the other items the same for now. Now, I've had conversations with engineering and with Rick to see what we need to be projecting for building permits. And so those kind of discussions have happened, but I haven't had any, go up by 15%. So right now what we have there is
Carrying the 485 over?
right, just carrying right where we are now. When we get down to credit card fees, we've gone up a little bit on the credit card fees in the general fund. These are fees for when somebody comes in and pays for their permit with a credit card or things of that nature. We're recovering that because some people pay a $10,000 permit with a credit card and we get socked with a bigger fee. So that's what you're seeing in the general fund for credit card fees. Made an adjustment on the interest income in line 21. This is the interest income for First National, or First Financial Bank. You may recall when we were doing our depository contract last year, we got a bump in our interest rate, so that's now reflected here.
It's a very large increase.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it's a significant interest increase.
We'll take it.
And then the other change on line 25 is related to the admin transfer from MEDC. So that's the current revenue. In your expenses, you should see green highlights throughout the next several pages.
And the legals are ginormous. What happened?
At the last budget workshop, I was asked to increase it, and the breakdown on that is Johnson Petrov at $150,000 annually, and Parsons McIntyre at $150,000.
Yep.
And it was originally at $75,000 for Parsons, and I was asked to double it, so it increased it to $150,000.
Okay.
So
Yep.
it's $300,000. And if you look at page 2 on computer technology, line 28.
Before we go farther than that, so I notice our wage line, we're gonna make a lot of corrections to that, right?
Right, so, what I didn't tell you, in tonight's budget, what you have here is current salaries with a 3% cost of living recommendation. And then we also built in the merit increase, like we've done the previous 2 years, where we funded at 5%, but only, or put it at 5%, but only funded at 75%.
Yep.
So those are the figures that are in here. This does not
Okay.
take into consideration what we discussed tonight, so we
Cool.
will have to go back and build on.
Yeah, we're gonna add another 1.5% for the retirement fund and, what was that here?
It
The
was
hybrid,
83% or something like that, I think hybrid was.
not 83%.
Yes.
I mean, 83,000, sorry.
We will build those.
So maybe another one.
Yeah.
We'll put all of that
I don't know.
information. in here,
So maybe closer to 900.
So it's gonna go up about 12%.
Some of it will be in the utility fund.
12%.
Yes, some will be in.
Yeah, that's right.
What was it?
Any other questions on page 1?
What are we referencing in the utility fund?
There's the hybrid, there's some utility users and
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
not general admin. Retirement
Well, I
expenses.
don't-
So is the retirement expenses taking into account what we talked about tonight?
No, it does not.
Okay,
Based
so
on
that will
what-
change.
What we got with those different
9/7.
scenarios. I didn't try to plug
Yeah.
any of that.
Right, right.
I just left it with what we
So
currently
those
do.
numbers-
Got it, so that'll change,
So,
okay.
yeah, so that is our 26 rate in there, but not based on what you saw.
Okay. So that's page
So
one.
the records and retention, records management is up significantly. Did we just merge some lines? Remind me where it went from $1,500 to $39,000? Item, line 20?
I'm looking for my breakdown. Okay, so on this one, if you recall, I had,
Is this the laserfish?
This is for the city secretary's records that we were looking at getting scanned.
Yeah,
You
laser-
said, don't destroy them, but we could get them scanned and moved into Laserfish.
Yeah, okay, that's what I
And then
thought,
the one that was Ms. Tilly's office for the planning and development.
Right.
So the first section is 16,000, the other one for Ms. Tilly's office is 18,000. And then you have your annual subscription for RCI and then records retention and shredding, because of how many boxes we're having done every year. That isn't actually enough what we currently have, so it's increased from 1,500 to 5,000. And then destruction, I don't, we moved that into another line.
So we have record shredding in another line though.
Yes.
Yeah, in line 23,
Yeah. So we-
$2,000.
23, that is the quarterly shredding that happens, well, actually it's monthly shredding, we're billed quarterly from Iron Mountain. That's those gray bins that you see around here. That's what is in the record shredding. The larger piece of that, as we mentioned, falls under that records retention and destruction.
Okay.
Than just our regular shredding.
Okay.
On page 2 of the handout from Finance Director Carl, on line 26, elections, I do want to let you know, it's amazing, we got our November election bill in today.
Ah.
Unfortunately, it's more than $30,000.
But we're splitting it with PD, so that's
We
okay.
offer that, but where
Yeah.
I'm going with that is the total came out to, for the November election, came out to $35,858. I put down for $30,000 for this line item, so that tells me $30,000 won't cover another election next year, so I'm gonna recommend for $40,000 in case there's an inflation between this year and next year when there's another election.
And just, I don't know if Brent told you, but I'm letting council know, our legislature is meeting in special session because now they're trying to get rid of May elections and only have November elections. So once, it'll be easier for budgeting, and two, be less expensive, I hope. But also, if you are up for election this coming May, you're staying until November. If that passes. Yeah. Okay.
I can tell you that in the November election, there were 18 entities that were involved in the election, and that was our portion of the shared cost.
That's, I
So is that a state or is that
And
paid
that
to the
was a
county or
November.
the
That's county,
state?
yeah.
So the county is just making profit on
Well,
this
that's
deal.
100%, because this has gone up significantly. It was just $15,000 3 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's just stupid insanity.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It's, this should be illegal to go up like this.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way the inflation of cost has been that much.
No, we've already paid for $4.2 million for the new machines. It's already paid for, done. That was done in 2022, so I'm not understanding what, we paying for them again? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I
they
mean, if
already-
18 people paid $35,000,
Yeah,
Yes.
that's insane.
there's absolutely no
Well,
way.
some had more, some had
Yeah.
550,000, some had 105,000. Ours was, on the lower
There's
side.
no way.
630,000, yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so moving
That should
on.
be on
They
the
should
special
send-
session, is what
They
that should be
should,
on.
they should be sending us an itemized bill.
Yeah.
So you're gonna move it to 40,000?
Yes, I'm gonna put it up to 40 to make
I
sure that
agree.
we're covering.
I don't want
the
shared cost, I want itemized. Because I promise you, it's less expensive to do it here than it is South County at the library in the Woodlands. 100% it is.
Any other questions on page 2?
What are the green things up for? Computer technology
Yes,
was
the
what?
change versus what was brought forward at the last workshop. So we did have a change on computer technology, which was a slight increase. It was a $450 increase. So nothing major, but when we went back and looked at numbers, there was.
So what are we buying this year in computer technology?
I've got a breakdown. So we're looking at OCS is, for the city administration side is 13,000. The Nova 4 is 2,500, which is a computer program to help keep everyone in state compliance and educate everyone to not click on something or answer phone calls and give out information and get free. Resi is a live stream support subscription. I'm in the process of trying to upgrade the live stream here. It is obsolete and it keeps breaking down on us and we have to get it updated. And so the new platform that I'm going to is going to have an annual subscription of about $1,900. Civic Plus Archive Social is $2,500. Unicode code hosting is $1,400 and I'm working on trying to get that eliminated. MCCI Laserfish Cloud, so our Laserfish is $7,500.
I thought that was in the other one though, no? I thought that was in the one we just talked about.
No, that
In the re-
is,
In
The
the records retention?
that is to scan the documents and put, so we can put them into the.
Oh, got it,
software we
okay,
own.
all right.
Or we
This is
subscribe
actually
to.
for the software, got it.
And then internet services through OCS is 7,000. There is a switch replacement upgrade. OCS, we had some issues where they came in and they, something happened, and I don't know how. All I know is they said that somebody plugged something into something wrong, and they're recommending for a switch upgrade that's $7,300. That way it will notify them when something is reading wrong, instead of us having to wait until we break down, and then we're calling them and they're having to come out and do a site inspection. It will automatically tell them, it communicates with them on what's going on.
And how much is this switch?
$7,300.
Because you can get switches for a whole lot less than that. F5 is a network switch. You can get it for $5,000. I don't know. I think we pay OSC a lot of money and I don't think we get our value from it. So I'll just put that out there.
The Unicode meetings is $2,500. Our annual web subscription for our website is $3,600. Our cloud technology is $26,500. And I put in for $7,000 for computer replacement programs so we can start rotating out the older equipment. And server replacement is $20,200. ClearGov upgrade is $18,000, or no, ClearGov is $18,000. And then Encode Plus is $2,500 just for our portion, and the other part comes out of the.
Each of their.
That makes up the gist of our computer technology. And then on page 2 of the breakout that was given on line 29 audio visual, I am asking that we put in a line item to have some money in case something is breaking down in the council chambers or something has to be upgraded. with not having any budget money at all allocated for it, if something happens, like right now, I'm trying to do the upgrades and I'm trying to use the money out of the elections line because we didn't have 2 elections this year. So I'm trying to take care of it, take advantage of that money to get it upgraded, but if I didn't have that money, I would have to be coming back and asking for a budget adjustment, and it would be, I'd rather be proactive in knowing that we have a little bit of money to work on if that $2,500 gooseneck microphone goes out, or the microphones in front of you go out, or a $3,000 camera goes out, because that's what these actually truly cost. That we have something available for replacement.
Okay. So that being said, with our audiovisual, all this, especially with this room, in the back of your minds, we're going to be building out a new one.
Yeah,
So let's make sure that we upgrade to things that aren't
Yeah,
super
she is.
expensive to replace.
And I've already been talking to the individual, and I'm like, everything we do has to be portable to the new location,
Mobile.
and it is.
Okay.
Yes, I'm even the aerial microphone that I'm trying to get for the ceiling in the audience, because sometimes that microphone's not the best. It might be able to pick everyone that's sitting up back there talking. It's portable.
Okay, very good.
It's not just sometimes, though,
Yeah,
I'm sorry to say.
yeah.
It's most of the time.
Yeah, I've discovered that microphone doesn't always pick the audio up.
Mm-mm, no.
It's terrible.
Next.
That's it on my part.
Okay. So what's under, so we do the software upgrades. I know you guys probably went over this in the workshop, but I wasn't here, so I apologize.
Mary Ann, do you have a breakdown on that right
Yeah.
now?
I do not have a breakdown. I don't have anything, from my side. for
Wasn't that for us to go to the cloud on,
So there is no cost for us to upgrade to that.
Yeah.
It's been built into our, the line
CS,
of
okay.
computer technology.
Yep, okay.
I was looking at this line for possibly the CIP for your ClearGov. I know you had sent me a message on it, and I responded back letting you know that there was some utilization for this line. And I don't know, I was gonna wait on you to get me an estimate on the upgrade on that module.
So there is a component for ClearGov that is a capital improvements piece that allows you to build your projects in there and do it over a multi-year phase.
Good.
So we have the ability, we have the capability of doing that. Logistically, I don't know about time-wise and building.
who would be responsible putting that information in there?
Great question.
Okay, because currently our CIP roadmap is done by WGA.
So I do have one more question about software, computer technology. KKC, I did not hear that mentioned. Our
It's an
subscription.
EDC.
Are they picking up that?
KKC is that,
On all of our, no, I don't think
No,
so.
I thought they were.
Because that's our
Our ordinances,
procedures,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, KKC in regards to the ordinance is in Code Plus, and I did mention that.
Okay,
The KKC piece is under your general consulting fees on my.
Yes.
okay.
Okay.
I know I've heard it.
And there's only a small portion that's left of KKC for this next year.
Right, but we have to pay a subscription to use their system.
It's only if we get the
Yes,
software.
That's only if we buy the software?
That's the ENCODE,
Mhm.
which
Code.
11,000 of that is coming from NEDC, and the other portion is the 2,500, which is the library. And then the other component of that KKC piece is the codification. And
Yes.
we still have the codification expense here, so that becomes a part of that.
Okay.
So that's
I
actually.
just want to make sure we're capturing it somewhere, because I didn't hear it particularly called out.
Yes, and that's up under the general.
Okay. That's all I have, sorry.
Any other questions on Department 10? Next department is Department 11, which is Police Department.
Thank you, Mary Ann.
You're welcome. And I apologize, when I printed this department, apparently I didn't hit color. So,
So I do have one more for our 380s. Don't we have one of those falling off soon?
So there is a 380 that fell off.
Oh, it already fell off?
A reduction on there on line 46,
Okay, that's the one.
yes.
Okay.
All right, and one up. Well, I'm gonna sit right here if you don't mind. Close your mouth.
If we get down to, where we are with the, auto repairs. All the stuff that you see out to the side with the CCPD,
Mm-hmm.
those things have been taken out of this budget and moved to CCPD.
What line?
It says CCPD on the notes, all the way
Right-hand
right.
side there says no.
Yeah, it'll say it, so it's
Yeah, right
easy to see.
there. Everything that has CCPD on it, this has been moved from this budget over there.
Right. So before you go too far, it's a question for probably both of you. Mary Ann, how much does the CCPD we put in place when? They started getting,
In
they started
January.
getting revenue in.
Oh, they just,
The first year was,
started,
472,000.
yeah.
So the first deposit we received was in March.
March of this year.
Yeah.
So they'll have a
January.
full year of 26. This is only a partial year of 25. Okay, all right.
So including your next page, if you look over, all the things that were moved over to CCPD, comes to a total of about $327,000, maybe more. I'll put that something in there. Take a look at some of the others. But those are the things that we moved over, so we'll be putting that back into that general fund. Some of the things that we did leave in, you guys want to go over this stuff, the computer technology, the code enforcement, we moved that to CCPD. The radio fees that you see here was moved to CCPD, but on the back side, you'll see where it, on the next page, you'll see where it says radio again on number 29. That's 29. Those are just for repairs. So we got the repairs in for this year. We'll be-
So 29 is repairs,
Yes, sir.
Not actual radios, but repair rate, to repair
You'll
rate.
see radios again when you
Yeah.
start to look at the CCPD budget here, you'll see radios again. So just to clear that up now, those are repairs.
Is that because our radios that we have now are end of life, and
That's
so,
money in there for repair.
Yep.
And we're gonna purchase some, 4 radios, some new radios.
Okay.
We left that money in there. First details, and I was looking to start down here, the radars, and these ballistic vests here, ballistic vests, just looking at that, we're going to, probably move that out of here too, and take that to CCTV and put it under our emergency equipment,
so both 42 and 43, or just 43?
43. 43.
I missed the first one. Which one was it? What was the
It's
first one?
43, he just said radar, but then he said ballistic vest is gonna move to CCPD.
Chief, on number
So
31.
take it off of this.
community
That's the only one
relations,
so far?
So far, yeah.
Is that like the, coffee with pops and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, those are things we do, those, then we'll also take them,
Just stays in blue, okay.
so like, so we're gonna move the ballistic vest now. And on that back page, you see we moved traffic equipment out, we moved the investigation testing, we moved out the heavy equipment, and we moved out public safety technology, which was about $170,000. So all that's been moved to CCTV, bringing the total about $330,000, maybe a little bit more once we take another look and move the rest of that.
for giving that back to us. Ish, kind of, sort of.
I only got 228, so we're missing.
There's something.
Yeah, well,
He says he's only got 228,000 instead of 320, but is it part of that wages or some training
Some of
or?
it on this page here is
Oh,
not.
it's not in there? Oh, okay.
So they do have a page.
Oh, we
Yeah,
do.
they have a page.
Yeah, they have a page.
Oh, you're looking at this page here.
272 is what I have.
Yeah. The page that you're looking at, are you looking at the?
This
CCP
line
budget?
item, yeah.
Are you-
Yes, I'm looking at the police budget.
Not the one, the vertical one you just showed,
The
the
police
horizontal
budget
one.
for out of the general
You
fund.
just showed the vertical one.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
just
know.
going off of what I have in front of me.
Yeah, this is, I was looking at this while I was sitting back there, and, there's some things here.
Some changes.
So 272,000 is what I see is coming out of his 400 and some, he's already got deposited, that's only one fund. So I'm expecting a little more to come out.
Oh, yeah, he was. He had more than the last meeting, so I don't know.
All right, do you have the, CCPD budget?
Oh, it's at the back, yeah. It's the last one.
There we go. Okay, that makes sense, because there's code enforcement in there.
We'll be working on this, we'll be taking it back to the CCPD board, for their review and approval, and bring it back to you guys.
Okay.
Okay, there's only 12 highlighted on here, and there's 16 on here. Okay, so,
So if I add that up, that's the 300.
yeah. Building lease, 180,000 for CCPD.
What's the building lease?
No, that 180,000.
Is that-
The things that 180,000, that's new.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
That's not
Okay.
coming from the other budget.
So the police cars are not here, but they're in the CCPD of
Police cars are
120,000.
120,000.
Radios and
They were
handhelds.
moved from, they were moved. That
Yeah.
was coming from,
I think that was what the difference was, Casey, that 120 for police cars was not
that's where
in the
you, that's
general.
where it's at.
It's not in the general fund.
Okay.
It was, police cars was 120,000, but you have it in here for 100,000?
No, I haven't, it's in here for what, you may get an extra 100,000 when you look at it.
Okay, yeah.
So the outfitting is 100,000, that stays in there.
So emergency lights and decals is
The actual
15,000.
The actual police cars that are 120,000.
Yep.
That we took out of it.
Okay, so then, line 39 that says police cars for 100,000, that's outfitting the cars.
That's outfitting.
So that's not actual car, that is to outfit.
Yeah, that's outfitting.
Okay, and so then the 120,000 is the actual vehicle itself.
120,000.
Got it, okay.
And that's where your numbers are at. That 120,000.
Okay.
And, the 126 on here also is reduced on the CCPD budget, the 126 is for the new radios. The 180,000, that's for a year's pay on the new building. Year's pay on the new. And, okay, of course, the 17 is inside of that 42.
Oh, it's on the back.
And those are new flock cameras, those are
Public
5
safety.
new flock.
Testing equipment and computer tech. So 804 is
Yeah.
the CCPD budget. Okay.
So the fund balance, when you say accepting the fund balance, that's called?
Right.
So the fund balance of about, it's gonna be like 425,000.
For PD?
So it's gonna be about $425,000 left in that CCPD.
Oh, 425,000.
752, not 152, but I may have got under something.
Okay, left. Okay. Any other questions for Chief?
No, got
Thank you guys for this, for creating this CCBD. Trying to do us all.
I think your total's off.
Proposal.
Yeah, I got 805, 752. Your total says 804, 152. I just double checked it twice.
Mine was 805.
Okay.
I'm not an accountant.
Okay.
So help me understand what's off?
The total at the end of the CCPD says 804, 152.
Correct, that's your expenses.
Yeah, so when I add it all up, I get 805, 752.
Well, I will go back in Excel and it should be
Yeah, that's
capturing all
what
the
I'm
cells.
figuring, yeah.
So,
But I just double checked everything. That's all this
again, this is a CP. This will be going to CCPD for them to approve a proposed budget that will then come back to you all as a part of the proposed budget you will approve in August for the 30 days.
I'm missing.
Is that going to be on this 28th meeting, on July 28th, for a proposed budget?
Yes.
It will not be. Oh, the CCPDs.
Yes,
Yes,
CCPD.
yes, CCPDs.
Yeah. No, I'm going with my number.
All right, I will be looking at it.
You saying the Excel is broken?
I'm saying something's broke.
It, you know, and it could be. We're still working with ClearGov to get all of the line items in for CCPD, so not all of these line items are on the ClearGov side. So just so you know, this Excel spreadsheet is an Excel spreadsheet, not on CCPD. So we will take a look at that for sure. All right. The next department is going to be Public Works. Okay, again, so the green lines are the changes. Line 9, you see a very large jump in that line for engineering. I have asked for engineering to provide us with a review and an estimate of what we're looking at for next year for the city share of engineering costs. This does not include anything that's associated with an escrow or anything like that. This is city side. I am still waiting to receive that. So what is in here tonight is what we are currently on trend for in this current fiscal. So that's where we have 233,000. Line 15, so 16, 17, 18, and 19, based on the feedback in last workshop, where we took those parks out individually and made a general park maintenance line. That's where you're seeing that reflected there in line 15. The next page is going to, or next change, excuse me, is on page 2, line 39. Again, it's just a slight adjustment over what we had brought last time. Again, looking at the actual costs for all of those computer-related items like CNS and the like.
So I brought this up before, and I'm gonna bring it up again, about Memory Park. Mike, that 10,500, you think we can go a little bit more and give them like 20,000? Because I just know they have more expensive parts and pieces.
That's what she was talking about the $100,000 line item.
Sorry, I was too busy adding up the mistake on Excel.
Yeah, so theoretically, you gave Memory Park, y'all gave Memory Park 25,000.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be all
Okay.
four parks combined into one.
Got it, okay, just making sure, I wanted it to be said because Mr. Carter wants to talk about it.
Greatly appreciate it.
Yes, well, he was hoping there was a 6 digits, but it's okay. HEB hadn't opened yet.
Oh, real quick, I just got to travel and training. Mike, training. What are we doing for technical training of our crews? Not soft skills, but technical training.
Elaborate on technical.
Huh?
Elaborate on
So when I talk about technical, I'm talking about how to operate things, actual technical training.
So that's the majority of what they do. So most of them are working towards water and sewer license. That's
Okay.
what most of our expenses were in Michigan. Several new guys, and every one of them are seeing a little gung-ho about getting their water and sewer license.
Yeah.
As opposed to kind of dragging their feet, in the past.
Right.
So that's mainly what it is, it's water and sewer license.
Okay. And pump maintenance, things like that, right?
Yeah.
There's flow-serve pump schools that you can go to, all kinds of cool stuff that you
Well,
can
so-
go to.
Within those classes, there's specialized electives. One of them is pump and motor maintenance. Another one is valve and hydrant maintenance. So those are classes that they have to take the basic ones first and pass that first level license. Then they can start taking those electives and start working towards it.
Okay.
We got a couple of guys that are right in the middle of all that. They've just passed their basic stuff and now they're moving towards
Okay.
the.
So
next level.
5,500 is enough?
So we've got 5,500 in this one, but remember we have a counterpart in the water and sewer.
Okay, okay. Just so long as, because I really want to see our guys get the technical training. I know in the past we sent a lot of them to leadership schools, but we don't need a lot of chiefs. We need more of the worker bees, right?
Leadership training is good.
It is, but at the end of the day, we need wrenches. We need hands-on
We've already
wrenches.
sent a handful of them to the leadership training. Got a couple more that I want to send, but I would like it to at least the crew leaders that have attended.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's all about working that next guy up and building him up.
But from our maintenance standpoint,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I was just asking how many licensed guys did he have now?
So right now, two of them do not have a license, but are working towards it. So one of them is getting ready to go test, one of them is fixing to take his class next week.
D or C?
D.
So the way our compensation is built for promotion is that, are these classes built into that where you must be at a certain level with licensing before you can
Yes.
move? Okay, okay.
And they get paid extra when they get their certifications.
It
right?
is part of the certification
Yeah,
plan.
okay, good.
I
thought we
I
did
just
that a
want to
couple
make
years
sure that
ago. Yeah.
we're really pushing that technical knowledge.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, whenever you hire on as a maintenance tech, you're not required to have any knowledge.
Right. No, I understand.
I actually prefer that.
Yeah, no bad habits, absolutely. No, I
But
get
to get
that.
up to that next level, you have to move it.
Okay.
Mike, are they just online classes, or do you send them someplace?
So, COVID changed that drastically. Used to, it was very, very hard to find an online class. COVID did, and all that shut down, and I think they realized quick, we're fixing to lose a ton of money if we don't figure out how to offer this online. So now it's a true blessing, because we can find, there's classes every month. The basic water class comes every month, the basic sewer class every month. Most of the guys prefer to do it online. I give them the choice. If you want to do it online, you can get it really quick. If you want, I've got one that prefers to do it in person. That's his preferred method of learning. He likes to sit there with a book and listen. He's got to wait a couple of months because that class doesn't
I was
come.
just to say, because those classes don't really come that often around here, do they?
They don't. I mean, you can travel to them. You can find a class in Amarillo, but then you got to pay hotel and per diem and all that. So I try to make them wait until it comes to Conroe or the Woodlands or somewhere where they can just go during the day and take it. So there's one coming. One of the guys is waiting on a class in two or 3 weeks. It's coming to Conroe. He'll be taking it. So, yeah, there's a whole lot more opportunity now online.
They don't have any short-term classes at A&M?
So the TEACS, which is Texas A&M Engineering Extension Service,
Yeah.
offers a ton of classes.
Yeah.
They do a lot of in-person classes. That's the ones that typically come to Conroe and the Woodlands. And then we use Texas Water Utilities Association for a lot of all classes. All my, when I was up and coming, 18 years ago, all the training that we did was through TEACS. They would come to Conroe every month and do a class. You may have to wait a year on that certain class if you were
Exactly. They're
Yeah,
usually
they
good
do
classes,
that.
though.
They also do the leadership program. TEACS
Yeah.
does the leadership academy.
Yeah, I went to
A
A&M
short
and did a 3-day class.
TEACS is really
Well,
good.
I happen to be friends with an instructor. If you want to host for the city?
I thought about that, but.
Boys want to get out of here, they don't see
I
us.
offered it to Phoenix, but they never took us so
Good. That's my main question for your training is making sure we're pushing those technical skills for that department.
Absolutely.
Hey, Mike, streets for contract labor, is that when it's a county street, but we do, he provides the materials?
No, it's, well, they
Yeah,
can do that.
okay.
You can do the interlocal agreement.
Yeah, okay. Or is it truly just filling potholes and?
No, that one is reserved for if a contractor
Got it.
does the work, whether it be the county's contractor or a contractor that you have to hire, which is a lot more expensive to hire one.
So public work items went up to 34,000, what is that? And if you talked about it, I apologize.
On the work side?
I was probably-
Yeah, it went down.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what that means, okay. It says 18,000 to 34.
And
And it's
now
green.
it's
Including the
34.
trucks. So we, the estimate that I had given before was based on last year.
Yeah,
The question that I didn't have answered at the time was whether we can take the utility bed off of the
That's right,
truck
that's
and trade it and put it on the new one.
And we
The
can,
answer is we
yeah,
can.
you said that, okay.
And the price dropped.
Oh, good, okay.
Where
Awesome.
are you at?
I think we went from 40,000 to.
We're not in
50,000.
water and sewer, we're in
22
public
trucks.
roads.
Cool, that works. Okay. And
You did.
did you have a head count open? Do you have one spot open? No, you're full? Okay.
You have 2 team leads and 2 full crew.
Yeah, you restructured, didn't you?
Two crew leaders and 3 maintenance techs.
Yeah.
So you have 2
And that was part of
teams.
the budget was asking for the new crew leader
Right,
position,
good.
because I was in favor of it. So
And that's
we already
working out
have a
well?
truck for it. Say
That's working out well? I mean, that structure, you kind of restructured?
Well, the structure's working out okay, except for the third wheel. So that's why we're asking for another crew leader.
Got it.
So we can just run
Gotcha.
3 two-man crews. And like I said, we already have the truck for it. The truck that we're getting is part of trading in and upgrading what we
Yeah.
already have. We don't need an extra truck. We already have the truck in place.
Very
3
good.
2-man crews. Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, the one guy that's left over, you have to find something very specific for them. And if it's a newer guy, usually he ends up riding with 2 guys, so then you have a 3-man crew.
Yeah.
Which, a lot of jobs you can use a 3-man crew, but it's gonna be a whole lot cleaner with just keeping.
No, understood.
Understood. 3 crews.
So it's a crew leader and 2 helpers, right? Technicians.
Yeah, maintenance technician
Yeah. Yeah.
2 / crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was one of the recommendations from everybody was reversing that. Those were.
Okay.
Good.
Good.
Everybody good?
Yes.
All right, you're out of the hot seat, Mike. Hey, thank you. Live Oak's back on. I mean, I didn't even know that, but she just texted me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. She's gonna build the county, by the way. Dinner and overtime?
Now in the court?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so next page, Department 13 is reporters.
What?
Change for line 14 is a slight reduction. Reduced $350 versus what was brought to you last workshop. Again, just based on current trend that we're seeing.
So our judges' fees went up? Do we agree to pay our judge more?
Yes,
We did?
Yeah, we did.
we did agree, and now we have 2 judges, we have the original judge and the associate judge
Right.
as well.
Okay.
$1,200.
Say that again?
I was asking if we were a court of record.
Well. Good Lord, the fax machine got expensive.
We're using the copier and fax machine more because we're giving more tickets.
I hope that's the reason.
I said that we're using the copier, line 11, we're using the copier and fax machine more because we're giving more tickets. We just have a lot of warrants we got to print.
Okay.
And we also share that with the police department.
That looks good to me. I really need insurance. Office supplies and copier machine.
And your overtime is basically when they, your
Just for court nights.
Girls
Court
are
nights,
at
overtime.
court.
We have a, event that the ladies have to go to, the overtime.
Mary Ann, everybody's liability insurance went up. You got a quote on it, or you just think everybody's liability is going up? I know I shouldn't use that word, think.
So, I'm not exactly sure what happened when the TML IRP numbers were provided to me, but they do not align with where we are currently at
Okay.
in this current year.
Okay.
So I literally built it based on what we are.
Paying.
Every month, we use a spreadsheet to allocate that bill out accordingly to the different departments.
Right.
So I took the bill, multiplied it by 12, plugged it into all of my cells, and then I added a percentage on top. So that's what we're seeing.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, we had had some adjustment from the previous, and then I don't honestly know where we got off in those numbers last year, but.
Okay.
Are we
should
filling
be-
a gap from the prior year not being properly?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. I don't think so. I know that there's been a lot of work, I know Ruby has done a lot of work to make sure that we have the correct properties on.
Yeah,
We have the
well,
correct equipment. and
right.
She's working really well with the department heads to make sure that we have everything covered, but nothing more than what we should have covered.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I think we were undercovered. I remember.
Mary Ann, I did shoot with you today, TML sent over percentages.
I did see that, I did not drill into it. All right, so what I did want to share with you, because I did not give you a summary page in here, but based on the current revenue projections that you saw on the first two pages, and all of the department expenses that we presented to you tonight, that leaves us a surplus of $149,218. But keep in mind that that does not take into account anything extra on the ad valorem side. So that's where we're sitting.
So my next question is, with our current new budget, we are by code or law, we are to remain like 60% in the general fund?
Yes.
And our budget has increased? So,
But our fund balance is perfectly fine, because we got that from our audit. Our audited fund balance, we have about 9 months worth of reserve.
9 months on our 2025 budget. This is 2026 with a new
So
number.
you have 9 months in your fund balance, in your reserve. So that's what you're required to have.
based on our
We're kind of
2025 budget.
40% of our expenses. So we're good. We have well more
Yeah,
than what
well
we
more
need in our reserves.
But that number, 9 months, is based off of our 2025 budget.
It's based on your 24 audited number.
The 24 audited number.
Right. It's based on your number, your 24 audited number.
And our budget has gone up in 25 and to 2026. I just don't want us to get to, all of a sudden, our surplus is not keeping up.
I think our surplus is gonna be, because even, he said we were almost at a year
We're
surplus.
at 9 months,
Yeah, 10 months, I thought. Well,
Yeah,
anyway,
we're right at like 9.8 months.
yeah.
which is fine, but every year our budget goes up,
Sure.
that fund balance must carry through.
Sure, absolutely, but also we're on the uptick of our taxes going up too, and ad valorem going up, and our
Yeah,
revenue. Yeah,
don't
but
wanna
we'll be
get to the
mindful, we
point
gotta be
where
mindful for
where
sure.
We were not keeping that. When
Right.
2 years ago, we had to make a lot of adjustments to
There's
get
several
to
things
that.
to keep in mind with that, right? Obviously, what we're presenting is not a use of reserve funds in the current budget that we're presenting.
Good.
So,
Good.
and as we historically have seen in the last couple of years, our revenues trend higher than our expenses. If at any time, as I communicated with you before, but at any time we see that trend slipping, we're going to come to you, let you know, we see this trending down, department heads are well aware, we might need to pump the brakes on things, because we need to make sure that we are in fact staying in line with those. So you're right as far as, our expenses and where they get to, the fact that our revenues have been outpacing that. Based on what we're looking at in our current year budget, we anticipate that fund balance increasing.
Okay.
I thought adding all of these together, just curious, overall, what is the total of the budget we're approving, we're looking at this year? Is it like $11 million, 12?
So we will go back and look at our,
All the totals together,
revenue
but,
that we have in here.
They don't
the
have a
7.6
summary.
In general fund. I haven't added them all up.
Okay.
Because, we're still.
I'm just curious, it's more curiosity, because I
The general fund
get
is sitting at
fascinated.
7.6.
Yeah,
And then water and sewer is about
4,
4.5.
5, yep. I mean, that's, so,
And, you can, between CCPD and MEDC, you've got another,
2 million, about.
yeah, 1.6.
So, and you would add that 1.6 to this 12.1. So we're looking at like a 13.7, rough numbers.
Revenue.
Right, but
The revenue is
essentially that is your
12.1.
budget. That's
Yeah,
what
but the
you-
budget, then you add the CCP and all of that. So 13.7. I thought I was being crazy by saying we're going to adopt about an $11 million budget, and 13.7 is beyond my wildest dreams, and it's crazy just seeing the growth of, from 2018 till today, when we, 2018 adopted a $2.4 million budget. I thought we were the rich kids on the block. So it's just blowing my mind. That's why I was just wanting some clarity, just a little bit of rough numbers. Okay, that's wild.
Conservative.
Huh?
That's conservative.
I know.
The income.
I wish my stocks would do that. Good stuff.
All right, if you're good with the general fund, we'll move over to the water and sewer fund.
Yep. Those days when that one go.
First time you're seeing the revenues in here. We've left impact fees, again, this isn't in and out, right? So we've left this at the 1,170,000. I don't have our projections from engineering at the moment, but again, this is an end, and you see the exact same amount on the expense. So with that, if we get updated numbers from them, that'll be reflected, but it's not going to affect the bottom line on it. We did go up slightly on credit card fees. We're just seeing, based on trend, you do see a little bit increase. So this credit card fees is anybody that's paying their utility bills. So they do, if they pay online, if they pay in person, there isn't a fee, but if they pay online, there is a fee that's assessed. It's just a part of how the online platform works. And if somebody comes in and pays tap fees, they put it on a credit
take it.
And you know, there are some businesses that they like to swipe that credit card, because I'm pretty sure they're getting other kind of incentives. Mileage, airlines.
Yeah, travel credits, yeah.
So they like to use those credit cards.
So how much do we charge for them to use a credit card?
What was that?
How much do we charge for them to use a credit card?
I would have to look to see what that percentage is.
6%.
I think
2
on
or
those
3 is
services,
the
I think it's a 5%.
Yeah, you say it's high. Yeah, I thought it was 6, yeah.
3
On
to
the-
5 is,
crazy.
I think,
3 is
normal.
normal.
What was that?
3 to 5, it seems to be normal.
Right, so I think that we charge 5 on, because it's an added service. When you're paying online, it's a flat, like, $2.50. Part of that is your credit card fee, and then part of that is an insight fee that we have, that we get charged from Tyler for the online.
But it's built into the system when they use it.
Yes, it's automatically built in there. The disconnect, reconnect, line 7, we went up a little bit, just based on trend, as people who get their cut-off notice and get billed for that. We went up on line 9 for water revenue. It's a 10% increase over the current year. Looking trend-wise where we're at and anticipating some being nervous about a wet year. So all those things are taken into consideration. Sewer revenue, we went up by 5%.
Sure, wear the loudest shoes possible.
On line 13, solid waste revenue, we will be bringing this next council meeting, you're going to see we're entering year 2 with waste management of that agreement, and I think the increase is like 3.14%. And so we've increased here based on growth and trend of what we're currently seeing, and then building in that increase from them as well. Application fee, I'm just anticipating more people needing service. Made some adjustments on the line 17 and 18, so Lone Star groundwater revenue and the groundwater reduction revenue. In looking at our numbers, our projections, and our historical data, we've gone up 25% on each of these. On line 7, that's not necessarily huge, it's a pretty small number. But that's, we're currently trending a little bit higher than that. Interest income, again, that line 19 is the first financial account, so in line with where that's at. Did go down a little bit on the interest income, the investment line, and this has to do with, remember, we've taken a little bit out of their fund balance to supplement those debt service payments. So that therefore is reducing their overall balances that we're earning interest on. So that's what you're seeing there. This use of surplus funds, this 196,446, is what's needed in order for our budget to be balanced on the water and sewer side. Again, we can attribute this to debt service payments.
And that's pretty normal.
We've had
You've had it
this
before,
current year.
yeah.
So you see this current year, we are using 196, 193, or that's what we budgeted
Yeah.
currently.
Okay.
Haven't had to use that, but if we've had to make with our revenues and
Sure.
stuff when we're projecting, that's what we would need to get from reserves. All right, so then we get into the Department 30 and the expense side. We did the same thing here with engineering, line 9. We looked at current trend. And so we're on the water and sewer side for engineering. We're projecting 225 for next year.
So on line 12,
Feel free.
the operator is $57,750. That's what we pay Hayes Utility? That's all?
Well, all that is the base. So that's the base part of the operation. That's to run
okay.
the water plant,
Base.
sewer plant, lift stations, you know,
Base
X
ops.
amount of times.
Okay,
And it's a flat fee every month.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
the only change as facilities have.
gotcha, okay. I was like, wait a minute, that can't be right. Oh,
Now, the counterpart is on R&M, and the preventative maintenance utility project.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
where they're doing different things.
Okay.
Just repairing things or doing preventative maintenance.
And I just said, if you wanted to take care of any of these others, I was putting you on notice that they may have questions for you.
Gotcha. Wake me up.
it's your turn to bat.
I need to see the final. Good. Once we put the CCPD stuff back in, we put the Evergreen in, and you did say our wages had this, the 3% cost of living built in with the 75% or excuse me.
5% merit.
Funded at 75,
Yeah.
and that's built in already?
Yes,
So all we need to do is just add the Evergreen
yeah,
catch-ups
Yes.
and
83,000.
pull out the CCPD stuff, and we should have a final. I'm good.
We'll make sure we do that.
Okay.
And this does include, so like on Mike's, that projected position for that.
We should end up with, by my rough math.
I did want to point out, so while we went up 25,000 on engineering versus what we brought you last time, on line number 26, the sludge hauling, we brought it down to
Saw that.
25,000.
Yeah.
So, he said that's 100% attributed to base.
Good. I think that was a great call to move away from H2O.
I agree.
Yeah, and it seems like, I don't know if the right word is, you're less stressed out, but it seems to be more confident in what they present. For H2O is getting a little bit shaky or not
Yeah,
as solid.
The trust is back.
There you go, that's where,
The trust was there with H2O at one time.
until,
Until certain things happened.
Yeah.
And the trust fell and things went haywire, and now the trust is back.
yeah, that's good.
They're a good outfit.
All right, on number 30, the computer technology, that's slightly from what we brought last time, was again itemizing all of those items and taking a look at the actual costs. And operating supplies, this one is up from where we were last time. When Mike and I talked, he said, if we order meters, that's where that cost is. We have new development coming in, it's just gonna be.
That's the sole driver of this.
Yeah.
So, good thing is that no matter what you spend on water meters, that cost is always being covered.
Reimbursed.
Right. So how many meters does $120,000 get you? Just
Well, meters
curious.
are roughly 400 feet, so I
Okay.
know it's 40,000.
Wow, okay. And that's not just net new, replacing old that just stopped too, right?
It is, but we do a lot of warranty calls.
Yeah.
So if one goes, well, we do, we'll
Yeah,
rebuild it.
you try to salvage it, yeah.
Yeah, we rebuild the inside, put new
Yeah.
guts in it, and keep it in service.
Cool.
New impellers. There's not much to a water meter. As long as it's just to make pickups on it.
But it's got to talk to the satellite.
Well, that's the electronics on the
Yeah.
outside, but the meter itself is just an impeller with a mag pickup on it.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Yeah.
Call it new tape.
That sounded like Mandarin, just so.
Oh, it's just.
No idea what
A magnetic pickup is what transfers the ticker
Yeah.
to a number.
Awesome.
You can rebuild one.
It sounds like a windmill.
All right, on page 3, line 45, you'll see a reduction in the credit card merchant fees that we pay as a city. Last year, I negotiated with the credit card merchant service provider and got our rates reduced. So we're seeing a reduction, so that's saving
significant reduction,
Right.
P.S.
Yeah.
Yes. The line 47 is where you see that impact fee transfer out. And then line 53, this is that counterpart of those public works items. So this
Yep.
is the existing truck lease, the new truck lease, and then the equipment. Any other questions for Then if you go to the MEDC, providing you with a sneak peek as to what they have put together in their proposed budget. This will be up for them tomorrow night to approve the proposed budget. That will become a part of the overall proposed budget. So we wanted you to have a look at this, and if you have any feedback for us to bring back to their meeting tomorrow evening. We've adjusted their sales tax for the full year at the 4%. The MEDC has, as I say, just kind of trying to figure out some of the challenges that lie in front of them, the projects that they want to get off the ground, that I've talked about for a long time, and finally seeing movement on those. So that's a big piece. The other thing is, and I don't know how familiar everybody is, but on the MEDC side, so the Economic Development Corporation, they cannot spend more than 10% of their budget on advertising and promotion. So that limits some of the additional expenditures. So the type of things that fall under that advertising and promotion will be line 2 here, marketing and advertising, not what I did. And number 17, which is quality of life. So this would be whether it's events or sponsor or anything. So we can't go above that
$89,000.
$89,000. So, so that changes the makeup of their budget a little bit than what has historically happened, coupled with the fact that their revenue is reduced, right? But what you're gonna see is you're gonna see some increases in there. So the consulting and professional, this is a decrease based on where they currently are, because they did away with the retail strategies. So that's the reduction that you see there, bringing it down to 157,000, because they took out 70,000 of retail strategies. On the sales tax rebate line, there's also a reduction here for their expenditure, so line 13. So it's not, nothing has changed in the 380 except for the fact that the way that the 380s are structured, there's 2 of them that MEDC participates in. One outlines that the reimbursement is 1/4 cent. Well, the EDC receives 1/4 cent, and so therefore it needs to pay back that 1/4 cent. The other agreement reads that it will it will reimburse all of the EDC's portion, which is 1/4 cent. So the good news about the way that one was structured is it didn't identify the EDC's portion at the time as 1/2 cent. So those 2, it's going out, but it does reduce the amount that's available to go out. So we were reduced by 60,000 there.
Is that the Kroger?
Kroger
The
and the
100%.
shops
Yeah, the shops,
are the
okay.
2 that MEDC participate in.
Okay.
Which one was it that didn't delegate how much?
What was that?
Which agreement was the one? Do you remember?
I don't remember which one is which.
So, does everybody understand what she's talking about?
I do, yeah.
I think so.
Right,
Yep.
so they used to get a half a cent,
Yeah.
now they get a
I
quarter of
think
a
the
cent.
shops was the,
So we're basically able to keep a quarter of that cent and give it to the CCPD because of the way the agreement was written.
yeah.
The adjusted line 15 is adjusted. Remember, this is that transfer to general that includes the MEDC support person. The portion of salary for city secretary services, a portion of salary for finance services, a portion of the city administrator, office
Rental of this
rent,
building.
meeting space, all of those
Office
things.
supplies.
So that's the total that's coming back into the general fund from MEDC for their support. Line 16, you'll see, has been reduced. This historically has been the amount that the EDC has we've done as a transfer to the capital project fund each month. At the end of the year, it totals the $200,000. And that money has been used as the city sees fit for capital projects. So because of the projects that EDC is undertaking, and specifically the downtown development, downtown improvements and enhancements, they have moved that $200,000 down to line 18. So you'll see in line 18, they've got $296,000 to be used for those downtown improvements.
So, and just an update to council, the signs, we've got the signs, we're hoping to start on that after the first of the year. We've got, I think, most of the approvals from the county and the state all hammered out. We're just trying to find a contractor that's not trying to
Tear it
fly
up.
off of Florida on every sign. So, yeah, they seem rather expensive right now, so we want to find a different contractor.
There is someone that said, in downtown, that says that owns a business, says that she can make the signs, that she's done it for other cities.
Okay.
Somebody we might want to look into.
But we need to visit with Tilly, she's running that
Yeah,
rabbit.
but
So-
I just found this out on
Okay.
Friday, so I thought I'd pass it along.
And then after the first of the year, we're also hoping to start throwing money at the downtown development to start construction of McCown.
Now, how does that relate to the water line replacement down there?
So that's all paid for by the MEDC.
That'll happen
Yeah.
first
The
before we.
city paid for the sewer,
Yeah.
but the MEDC is gonna pick up the water, the streets, everything. And they
So
wanna try to do that, we wanna get started on it after, right, January.
What is the plans for McGowan?
So we're waiting for a engineering update because of the new, we've been back and forth with the owner of the,
He's fine.
I know, but we have been back and forth, that's been one of our holdups of the design, but he's finally, yep, he's good. So they're bringing back an engineering update to have the drive-through for his,
Just going with the first plan.
yeah,
It was already there. It was already ready to go.
with the owner of the
Steakhouse.
Montgomery Steakhouse,
Steakhouse,
yeah.
yeah.
So we have to do basically just an engineering update, and then they're gonna try to get that out to bid and all the things they have to do between now and December to get us going by January.
That is kind of an old project.
It is, we've been working.
2020, baby, 2020.
4 or 5 years we've been hammering on that, but we definitely see light at the end of the tunnel finally, so,
Come.
yeah. It's gonna be a big project, they're talking a year to complete, so.
So you don't see that project reflected in this budget, because remember, this budget is an operating budget, right? So that large project is essentially going to be treated just like we do our capital projects. And at the time that we initiate this spending of that, it's all going to have to go through the council reading and the publication and all those kind of
Yeah,
things.
to make the transfers over to
So it
capital
will come
funds.
from their fund balance.
Yeah.
I think that other 1/4% is in shops in Montgomery.
It is.
Is that cool?
It's Kroger and Shops. Yeah.
All right, any other questions?
Amen. Very good.
That is it for budget.
Great job, guys.
I think it looks really
It
good.
looks really good.
Do you know when our next budget meeting is?
August 14th, 16th?
We have to have it accepted by,
August 11th is the next city council budget workshop.
we have to have one posted sometime in August though, right?
Yes, I think so. Based on what happens at that workshop, our posting date is the 14th.
Okay.
So when we have our workshop, that next workshop, that should give us what we need for our posting.
Okay. And we're on track for that. Everybody- We don't have any huge changes, just hammering up the summary
We're
basically,
not
right?
anticipating any like major changes.
No.
so.
No. Thank you, good job, yeah. Don't say that real low, as low as non-member returners.
August 11th?
14th.
Now, there's one thing, I guess I do have one question, since we're talking budget. There's one thing that I did not see anything about, and that is, at some point, we have to figure out how to fund a $14 million water project.
Just a second, one thing. One said the 11th and the other said 14th. What?
Yeah, what day, it's the 12th is the first Tuesday of the month.
Right, I think the workshop is on the 11th.
The 11th is the
So that
Monday.
on the 12th,
That's what I thought.
we have
Okay.
a proposed budget to approve.
Right.
For the posting.
On the 14th. 14th. And then we'll accept it in September or whatever, right? So the the capital budget, right, that should start talking about this, how we're gonna,
So we had
Pull the
that
magic
workshop
out of the
where
hat.
James Gilling was here, and we
Yeah.
had WGA here talking about the different potential options.
Funding mechanisms.
And I think at this point, we're kind of in a holding pattern until we see what our property tax rate is. Because there was a kind of consensus feedback from council of, you know, what are we looking at if we do a utility rate increase? And where are we sitting with the property tax? Because we didn't want to go up in both. So we were trying to see where we were at. One of the things that we talked about in the last workshop was we had a debt service piece that fell off in this current year. So we restructured the payback on one of our issuance to take it off of the full burden off of water and sewer and shifted it back over to the general fund or to the INS and the debt service fund, so that we didn't have a major decrease in our debt service needs, so that we could maintain that obligation moving forward. So we've done that. We notified the tax office of what our tax supported debt was, so they have all the information to be able to use in the calculations. So based on that, we'll see kind of where we're sitting, what the options are. One of the pieces that James had talked about was being able to utilize the impact fees as a potential way to buy down some of that debt, but I think ultimately it's going to be a debt issuance of some sort, and what that, the payback
How that funding
scenario
happens,
looks
yeah.
like is going to depend, kind of start talking about that a little bit more once we get our.
Do we know anything about what the potential impact is going to be of the state legislature's changes to the over 65 reductions in property taxes?
I haven't played with any kind of calculations to see what that is going to do to us. That is being built into the software that the third-party vendor that the tax office uses. So once all of that information gets in there, we'll see that. We'll actually get the report back that shows us, where that's accounted for. But I don't know. I haven't looked at any scenarios as to what that does for us.
Good thing you're adding houses faster than you're cutting out old people. So it's probably you're probably not gonna see the impact.
Too much of an
very
impact.
I guess.
population is a lot of times higher in the retired
In-
age. So
It was only $9,000 that we were out or behind or lacking in collected ad valorem, which was smaller than I anticipated.
100%.
Yeah, I was shocked at that, that's all. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
so we
That's
are,
good.
the debt service rate is fully at 100%.
Yeah,
We're,
don't say it real loud. Jesus.
you'll see it at council meeting next week.
Yeah.
We have to approve that piece from tax office.
The good thing is, if you had to get $21 million in debt, the interest rates are still fairly decent.
Yeah.
A few years
That's so
ago.
comforting.
No, they were really
They
good.
were horrible. There was just that little window of COVID time, and then now it's still,
You just said a very large number. Okay. Good job, thank you. Council inquiry?
Well, I did want to make a comment during this section that we have the TML annual conference coming up in October. And the window for booking for registration is at the end of the month. And the location, I believe, is Fort Worth this year. So I'll be shooting out an email to get an inquiry on who would be attending. So that way I can be prepared for registration at the end of the month.
What date in October?
Oh, I got it. Hold on. I think it's the end of
TML
October,
annual
isn't it?
yeah, if you don't get in there, you'll be staying at Denton's.
It's October the
October
29th.
Hotel.
Yeah, through the 31st.
Staying in Denton, I think.
Wednesday, Thursday, and a Friday.
Terrible.
Might as well stay here and drive every day.
Yeah, terrible what happened, especially there. San Antonio, no problem, because they're all handling it enough.
Okay, is that it for our council inquiry? Anybody else? All right, closing agenda? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Zilvich,
Second?
second by Mr. Olson. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries. 8:27, we will adjourn.
That wasn't too big.
That
No,
one.
that was good. See, and I don't have to give Mary Ann back a book.
I can't see the picture. See the Texas A&M guy?
This is a different one. I'm trying to find room in this damn bag. I need to purge again.
Hang on to that.
Have you heard?
Actually,
What is
great
this?
speaker.
Somebody called me
And he's
today
fun.
and told me